Let's talk about bread, rice, potatoes. You know, the good stuff. For so many of us, these are the foundation of our meals. But if you're trying to manage your blood sugar, you've probably been told they're basically forbidden. But really, is cutting them out forever a realistic plan?
Right? We all do. So what if I told you that you don't have to give them up? That there's a way to enjoy these foods without that dreaded energy crash and blood sugar spike that follows?
Because here's the secret. It's not really about what you're eating, but how you're eating it. And today, we're gonna walk through some incredibly simple, science-backed strategies that will help you flatten those glucose curves and take back control of your metabolic health.
Okay, let's kick things off with one of the most powerful yet least known tools you have. It's called resistant starch, and it is a game changer.
So normally, when you eat something like pasta, the starch breaks down into glucose really fast, and boom, you get a blood sugar spike. But resistant starch, it's different. Like the name says, it resists digestion. Your body just can't break it down that easily in the small intestine.
So instead of hitting your bloodstream as sugar, it travels all the way down to your large intestine, where it becomes superfood for your good gut bacteria. They ferment it, and in the process, create these amazing compounds that actually help improve your insulin sensitivity and even lower inflammation. It's pretty incredible. And how do you make this magical stuff? It is ridiculously simple. You just cook your rice or potatoes or pasta like you normally would, then you cool it in the fridge for about 24 hours. That's it. This cooling process actually changes the structure of the starch, and when you go to reheat it, it tastes the same, but the metabolic punch is completely different.
All right, so hacking the carb itself is huge, but we can take it even further. Let's talk about how to build a better plate, because what you eat with your carbs and in what order matters a lot.
You gotta remember this phrase, never eat a naked carb. Think about it. We almost never eat a piece of bread or a scoop of rice all by itself. And that's actually a really good thing. We can use the other foods on our plate to completely change how our body responds to those carbs.
Think of it like dressing your carbs for success. You add some protein, like beans with your rice, and you can cut that glucose spike by as much as 50%. Add a healthy fat, like some olive oil on your potatoes. That slows down how fast your stomach empties, which means a much gentler glucose curve. Even a little bit of acid, like some vinaigrette on a salad, helps slow down the whole process.
Okay, but here it is. This is the ultimate plate hack, and it will cost you exactly $0. It's the order in which you eat your food. This tiny little change can have a massive impact. I mean, just look at this. It's the exact same meal with the exact same food. On the left, you eat the carbs first, you get that huge sharp spike. But on the right, you start with the veggies and the protein and save the carbs for the end. And look at that beautiful, low, gentle curve. So next time you're out to eat, have the salad and the chicken first, then reach for the breadbasket.
And this isn't some small, trivial effect. We're talking about a 40% average reduction in the glucose spike for people with type 2 diabetes. 40%. That is absolutely massive for a change that is so simple to make. Okay, so you've cooled your rice, you've eaten your carbs last. What else is in the toolkit? Well, it turns out your secret weapon is what you do right after you've put your fork down.
That's right, just get moving. You don't have to go crush it at the gym. A simple 10-minute walk right after you eat can make a world of difference. Honestly, even just getting up and cleaning the kitchen or walking up the stairs helps your muscles start soaking up all that glucose that's coming into your system. So why is a simple walk so powerful? A big part of the answer is this amazing muscle in your calf called the soleus. You can think of it like a metabolic powerhouse, a glucose sponge. It is uniquely built to pull huge amounts of sugar out of your bloodstream to use for energy, and it can do it for a long, long time without getting tired. It's your body's own personal glucose disposal system. Now, of course, the type of carb you choose in the first place still matters. I love this analogy. Processed carbs, like white flour or instant oats, are like kindling for a fire. They burn super fast and hot and give you that big, sharp spike. But whole grains, like steel-cut oats or beans, they're like big logs on the fire. They burn slow and steady, giving you sustained energy and a much, much gentler curve.
All right, let's talk about our final tool. And this one is all about timing. Because as it turns out, your body's ability to handle carbs actually changes depending on the time of day. You know, our bodies run on an internal clock, a circadian rhythm, and our insulin sensitivity follows that same rhythm. In the morning, we are metabolic machines. Our sensitivity is at its highest. It's pretty good in the afternoon, but by the evening, our ability to process glucose takes a nosedive.
So what does that mean for us?
Well, it means that eating a big carb-heavy meal late at night is working directly against your own biology. A really good rule of thumb is to try and finish your last meal at least 3 hours before you go to bed. That gives your body a fighting chance to process everything while it's still relatively efficient. So let's wrap it all up. This is your new metabolic toolkit. You know how to hack your carbs by cooling and reheating them. You know how to dress them up with protein, fat, and acid. You know that order matters. Carbs come last. You know to get up and walk it out for 10 minutes after you eat. And finally, you know to time it right and avoid eating late into the night.
See, this isn't about deprivation or restriction. This is about strategy. This is about putting you back in the driver's seat so you can enjoy the foods you actually love in a way that truly supports your health. So the only question left is, which one of these are you going to try first?